Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys a full face makeup tutorial on this look right here. I used some Morphe palettes, I used some Colourpop, I used some Too Faced, I dipped into some of my favorite products, and I kind of just wanted to do a sit down kind of talk through makeup tutorial for you guys. So if you're interested in seeing how to get this look, then just keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to do today is prime. I'm going to be using this Too Faced Do You Fresh Glow Luminous Face Primer. This stuff smells really good. It does have a sweeter scent, so if you're not into that, you won't like this, but it just gives the skin a really beautiful glow. And I feel like on days like this where I look like The Walking Dead and I just look tired and dull, this really makes my skin look glowy and I just feel like a lot more brought to life, if you will. I know that sounds weird, but it just makes your skin super glowy and it makes me feel like I'm, you know, here for it, living. I don't fucking know. Since this primer isn't necessarily the best for filling in your pores, I'm also just going to go in with this Benefit Professional Primer, and I'm just going to put this in my T-zone where my pores tend to be a little bit larger and also where my makeup tends to kind of disappear first because I am a little bit more oily in this area. I definitely want to make sure that I prime it with something that is going to help with longevity. Also, I do want the center of my face to be matte because that is where I get oily, so I like to use something luminous around my face, and then sometimes I go in with something a little bit more mattifying and kind of more pore filling in the center of my face. I have to be completely honest, I am fighting a migraine today, so if I look half awake and I seem dull, it's because my head hurts. I have been using the Colourpop Pretty Fresh. This is their Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. If you don't know anything about hyaluronic acid, then let me educate you for a split second here. So what's so great about hyaluronic acid is your skin naturally produces it, but it's really good for holding in moisture and hydration, and it also helps to kind of plump up the skin as well and kind of reduce any fine lines, wrinkles, or anything like that. The hyaluronic acid molecule itself can hold up to, like, I think it's 1,000 times its weight in water, so that's very hydrating as well. Obviously, that is why it's so good for your skin. So far I'm loving this. It has a nice coverage, it's super lightweight, and I feel like it just gives the skin a nice kind of glow. It's not too mattifying, it's also not too luminous, it's just like the perfect everyday kind of little tinted moisturizer, foundation, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to pick up my JH03 brush and I'm just going to blend this in. I would rather be using a sponge right now, but all of mine are dirty, so I'm just going to use this. This brush is still great, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just like a sponge kind of bitch, so that's usually what I reach for. Favorite sponge that I've ever used is the StansOut Beauty Sponge. I have one right here. It's dirty, as you can tell, because this is such a huge sponge compared to my Beauty Blender, which is right here. Both of these are dry. You can see just the comparison in the size right here. I like the StansOut Beauty Sponge better than the Beauty Blender because it is so much bigger, so I get my makeup done quicker. It doesn't absorb as much makeup, and I like to use it dry as well. So I always reach for that, but mine's dirty, like I said. So is my Beauty Blender, so I'm just going to work on pushing this into the skin so I get the most coverage possible. And I'm just going to make sure that I also bring this down my neck here so that everything is blended in. Also, I'm sorry about the focus today. I wanted to do a different setting on my camera, but I also couldn't tell if I was completely out of focus the whole time. So we're just going to keep going with this like trial and error setup. I'm really trying to like upgrade my setup this year in general because I just want to like step it up a bit, you know what I mean? I want to get some more lighting and a better backdrop so that I can have the camera out wider, because right now I'm just using a piece of fabric and it is only so high and so long, which is why I have to have my video cropped in all the time, which is pretty annoying, but we're working on it. So you can see it really just kind of evens out your skin. It's not like it adds too much coverage, but it kind of just creates a nice even base for everything. I am going to go in and do some concealing because these under eyes are atrocious, and I do have a pimple here that's just kind of screwing me over right now, so I just want to cover that up and get rid of it and pretend it's not there, just kind of like I do with all the issues in my life. So I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer today. I love this stuff. I use this all the time. I promise one day I will try a new concealer, but I'm such a creature of habit, and this is just my favorite concealer. I'm never disappointed with it, and it just makes me look awake, which is why I love it so much. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the very corner of my eye here, and I'm just going to blend it out. I don't want to do like a huge triangle or anything like that just because I feel like I don't need that, and I'm not doing like a super crazy dramatic makeup look today. Also, this is very full coverage, so a little bit goes a long way. I just like to kind of look up while I'm blending in my concealer, and I focus on going from the outer corner or the inner corner to the outer corner and kind of moving it back and forth. I also like to kind of blend it down too so that it's not just right under my eye. There's no line or anything like that, and it also just kind of brightens up this whole area in general. I also bring that right up to the side of my nose here because a lot of the darkness for my eyes and a lot of eyes in general is right in this inner corner. So then I will also kind of bring this and blend this up into my inner corner here and onto the lid. And I'm tapping, I'm not swiping, that's going to move the concealer around. Also, your under eye is such a gentle area, you want to use the lightest pressure possible because the skin on your under eye is like the most delicate area, honestly. To conceal the spot on my chin here, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. I'm not going to use the I'm not going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer on that area because it is brighter. I don't want to bring attention to it, I want to cover it up. So I'm just going to put this right over this area right here. You can see it almost perfectly matches my skin. I'm just going to take my foundation brush and just tap that. And like that. This concealer is not full coverage, so you can see it didn't completely cover it up. If I wanted to go full coverage, I actually would honestly use this It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. This is more of a peach color, so it really does a nice job at correcting those dark spots, and I'll just go over it with some powder or anything like that. I actually really love this. It's full coverage. I like to use it for my under eye as well, but I've been using that when I feel like I have a spot or a pimple that I like really need to cover up. I think I'm just gonna stick with creams. Like, my skin has just been dry lately. I don't want to go in with a bunch of powder, so I'm just gonna pick up some cream bronzer. My cream bronzer is the Soleil Tan de Chanel cream bronzer. I honestly use this all the time. I feel like I should probably get another one for the purpose of the video, but I love this one so much. It lasts so long, which is why I use it all the time, and it's just a great product. So if you guys are sick of me using this, let me know. I will pick up something else. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know. I will pick up something else, but for today, I'm just going to dip into this a few times. I like to just tap off a little excess on my hand at first, and then I will go in and focus on putting this in the perimeters of my face. I like to tap because I don't want to move my tinted moisturizer around too much, and I kind of just want to push this into the skin. First, I like to just kind of go in and have more control over where the product is being placed. I'm going to put on a little bit of cream blush today. I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup blush. This is the Lip and Cheek Perk, and I'm just going to pat this right onto my cheeks here, kind of starting above my bronzer. I'm not going to start right on the apple of my cheek there because I'm going to be blending this out, and I don't want to blend it down too far because that's going to kind of pull your face down. I also, in general, like to have my blush in more of an angled shape because I feel like it just complements my face better, and I kind of like everything to be pulled up more than kind of pulled down because I have really big cheeks, so I don't really want to accentuate them any more than they already are accentuated. This is my favorite cream blush. I cannot tell you how many cream products I have tried, or like liquid products that I've tried, that just do not blend and they're really hard to work with and they dry really quickly. This product is so natural. It looks so beautiful on the skin, but it's also very easy to work with. I'm going to do a little bit of liquid highlighter today. I will be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Glow. This is in the shade Perla. It is a golden highlight. We all know I'm here for a golden highlight. I don't really wear pinky highlights now that I think about it. I always go for like the warm tones. I'm just going to tap this right onto my cheekbones here and then slowly kind of bring it down. You can just see it's just so glowy and beautiful. I love it so much. This again is another product that's very easy to work with, very blendable, very clean, creamy, and very lightweight as well. I can't speak today, so forgive me. Now that I have my creams on, I wish I could leave it just like this, but my skin, it just wouldn't let me, okay? My skin is oily. This will slide off. It's not gonna look this cute all day long. It'll probably look this cute for an hour. So I'm just gonna go in and use the smallest amount of powder possible just to set this in place and kind of enhance everything. I'm going to be dipping into my RCMA No Color Powder. This is in my Laura Mercier container, but it is the RCMA No Color Powder. This by far is my favorite loose powder that I've tried. I've tried the Airspun powder, I've tried the RCMA RCMA one and I've tried the Laura Mercier one. The Laura Mercier one is just so expensive compared to the RCMA one. The Laura Mercier one is $40, this one is $12. The Laura Mercier one is also a lot more drying, so when I would use it on my under eye, it would create a lot more of those fine lines and those creases because it really just sucked all the moisture out. Whereas this is a translucent powder that does not add any coverage, it doesn't dry your skin out, it just sits on the skin very beautifully. I'm just taking this on my JH07 brush. Really quickly, I'm going to go in and just make sure that I blend everything out on this under eye before I go in and very lightly set my under eye, and I'm also going to bring it down by my nose here as well where I have those bigger pores and where I tend to get a little bit more oily. I'm just going to put this on the center of my face and my T-zone as well. Like I said, that's just where I get oily and I just have to set it. I can't not set it. For blush, I'm going to dip into my Morphe Pop of Coral Blush Trio. This is so beautiful, and today I think I'm going to go with the shade Boss right here. This is a lighter pink, more matte shade. I'm just applying this with my JH04 brush. I'm tapping this over the area where I put that cream blush. For highlight today, I'm going to be using my Laura Geller Gilded Honey Highlighter. This is such a beautiful shade. Once again, it's a golden highlight. It's so shimmery. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. I sometimes spray it with MAC Fix Plus, but today I'm just going to put it on. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to put it right over where we put that liquid glow. So now that the face is done, I'm going to do my brows. I'm just going to do these off camera because I do have a tutorial. I will link that down below if you are interested in seeing it, but I'm just going to do this because it's the same as every video and as the brow tutorial. I will be right. So the thing is, I didn't really mean to do a full cut crease with a smoky wing. Here we are. While I did my brows, I decided to do one eye because I had no idea what I was doing, so I came up with this look. So now I'm going to show you guys how I got this done. This eye isn't complete. I haven't done liner, lashes, or mascara or anything like that, but I figured I would get one eye done and kind of show you guys how I do the next one. I'm going to be dipping into my James Charles palette and also my Morphe 39S palette. I'm going to be starting off with my James Charles palette today, and I will be using this shade right here. I will have the name linked on the screen because I can't remember what it's called. I am going to put this directly into my crease right here. My hair is just, I can't get over this. I'm going to focus on pushing this directly into my crease. With this, I find it's easiest if I literally push the brush right into the crease and then wiggle it back and forth a little bit just to get a little bit of that pigment off that brush. And I'm just making sure to get it even from that inner corner to the outer corner. And I'm also trying to keep the most even round shape that I can without blending everything out too much. So it's totally fine that I have the product on my lid because we're going to be concealing the lid anyways, so don't worry about that. But once I have the shade down, I'm going to go in with the next shade, and I'm going to use a very small fluffy blending brush. This is my JH40 brush. This is such a small blending brush. I love it so much. It's perfect for looks like this. And I'm just going to tap into that shadow, and I'm going to blend out the line that we just put in the crease. This is just going to help to create a nice blend in that area, and it's also nice because it's in the same tone, it's just a little bit lighter, so it really creates a beautiful ombre effect from going from darker in the crease towards lighter up towards the brow bone. Now I'm taking my Morphe M506 brush. This has no product on it. I'm using it to very slightly buff this line out. Just very, very lightly, not pulling any additional product up from that crease, but just going around this outer line right here and just softly diffusing that, using very, very light pressure on the brush just to kind of blow that out a little bit more there. So what I'm going to do before I cut my crease is I'm also going to bring the shadow right down along my outer lower lash line here, and then I'm going to connect it up with that outer corner just so I kind of have a guide of a shape to follow. Now I'm going to cut my crease with my Morphe white concealer. I'm just going to do a quick voiceover because I forgot to explain what I was doing during this portion of the video. I was just really in the zone. So basically, I'm just taking that shade Boutique and I'm putting it back on that outer corner to really help to create that half cut crease look. And then I'm going to dip into my Morphe 39S palette and I'm taking this beautiful shade right here. It is in the shade Ritzy Rose with my JH41 brush. I'm going to focus on packing this onto the middle of the lid. I'm going to avoid that inner corner because once I'm happy with the pigmentation of that Ritzy Rose shade, I'm going to pick up my Makeup Geek Lightyear Sparkler and I'm going to put that in the very inner corner. I'm just going to make sure that I blend it nicely back with that Ritzy Rose shade, and I'm just going to mix it with my Eye Candy Cosmetics Liquid Sugar because this stuff is awesome. It's like a glitter adhesive. I'm taking the shade Spooky from my James Charles palette with an angled liner brush. I am just using this to create a smoky wing liner on the very top of my eyelid there. I like to use black shadow for this because it obviously helps enhance that smokiness and it's super easy to work with. And then I'm going to prep my lashes with my IT Cosmetics Hello Lashes mascara. This is going to help me prep my lashes for falsies. But before I do that, I just like to finish off my lower waterline. I'm taking that shade Spooky again and I'm just connecting my lower waterline up with that outer corner of that wing to kind of really create that all blended out smoky eye kind of look. Next, I'm taking the shade Ritzy Rose and I'm putting that on the very middle of my lower waterline, and then I'm taking the shade Ring Light from my James Charles palette and I'm just putting that onto my inner corner. I'm just going to throw on my Très Chic Cosmetics lashes in the style Butte. I'm going to be using my Colourpop Cream Gel Eyeliners to finish off my lower waterline today. I'm going to be using Piggy Bank in the very outer corner, Insomniac towards the inner corner, and Get Paid towards the middle. Now I'm going to throw some mascara onto my lower lashes to kind of finish up this look because they need something down there. I'm putting the shade Capiche on the outer corners of my lip, and then in the middle I'm going to put a little bit of the shade Dream Date. Alright, ladies and gents, so this completes today's tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram because I post more looks on there. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, or if this is your first time here, make sure you click that subscribe button on your way out. Also, feel free to leave some comments down below letting me know what kinds of videos you guys want to see or what kinds of looks you guys want to see from me next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.